Hey guys, I thought I would go through the 1.7 patch notes. If you do want to check them yourself, you could check my pinned comment with a link to it, or you could just follow me here. I'm gonna go through most of it, but I'm probably gonna focus on certain parts and just go through a lot of the stuff which I don't think is necessary quick. So yeah, basically, if you've seen the PTS, you are aware that we got a new feature to the game, which is called global events. Global events are time limit events that add special modifiers to the PvE parts of Division. And basically, it's an event that occurs once a month, and it will be 1 week. And during global events, you will be able to get global event tokens, which you can exchange for global event caches at a vendor. And that's how you basically get classified gear the easiest way. I think after the global event, it's gonna be way harder to get classified gear. I think it will have a drop chance similar to legendary or exotic items, I mean. So if you really want classified gear, make sure to farm during the global event. And also during the global event, you will have a modifier which applies to the existing content. And I think the first one is the one we had during PTS, which was when you kill an NPC with a headshot, you would get headshot damage and their head would kind of explode, right? We also have commendations and patches, basically like achievements. And like, yeah, kill 100 NPCs or 100 Rikers and you would get commendation, and some commendation would grant you patches as well, like a cosmetic. And also a new feature, which I don't think they have talked about too much, or they at least haven't shown, is the face masks, which are pretty cool in my opinion. Like, they did release a trailer or teaser for 1.7 yesterday, and that was the first time we got to see the face masks, and they looked pretty good, I gotta say. Also, they added a face customization in the base of operation. Like in the terminal, I think you go up to the stars and you can change your character. Maybe you had some glasses and you could get rid of them, or you could get some glasses. Also, they added encrypted cash, which you can buy with at the premium vendor with real money. Also, you could farm it in game, and I think they will only include cosmetics, as far as I know. So you basically need key fragments, which you can get from normal gameplay. 10 key fragments are needed to create 1 cipher key, and you use that key to open the caches, right? Unique appearance items from encrypted cache are organized in a collection that can be found in the vanity tab. Once the collection has been completed, the agent will receive a reward. Then we come to the good stuff, in my opinion. Classified gear sets, which are pretty cool. So basically, classified gear set is kind of a new gear score, but not. They do have a bit higher stats. They will always be an upgrade for you if you have normal gear. And to get, so basically classified gear set will add a 5-piece and 6-piece to the gear. The 5-piece will be the same as the 3-piece, or at least the same stat, but the amount you get could be different. So if we look at the Lone Star, you will get 12% LMG and shotgun damage, plus the 2-piece actually 50 ammo capacity. And then 6-piece is pretty cool. That's like a mini or like a tackling. So when your weapon has 50% of its magazine remaining, you have a 75% chance to receive the bonus, right? So when you shoot half of your bullets, you will see if you will get the proc or not. So that's pretty good. Even though I'm not a fan of percentage and like RNG, I think the numbers here are pretty high. Like 75% that's pretty good. So when you get the buff, when you shoot all your bullets, it's gonna be an instant refilled reload, right? And then you get 20% more damage and 20% more fire rate. And stability and accuracy, before it actually got decreased, but now it's normal. And these get cancelled if you're not in combat, or if you reload manually. So it's a bit hard to abuse it. Definitely ways to do it though, but let's not talk about that. Final measure, 5 piece is exotic damage resilience and protection from elite. The 6 piece is pretty cool. I like it. So basically, if somebody, when a grenade is defused, the player and all group members within 30 meters gains a buff based on the grenade type that was defused. So EMP and shock will increase your skill power by 20% for 8 seconds. Just a regular frag grenade or flame grenade will give you 20% more damage, which is pretty huge. Remember, all these buffs are gonna be to your whole team, right? As long as they are in 30 meters radius range, right? For 8 seconds, then you have flashbang and tear gas, which gives you 20% more armor, like damage mitigation, which is crazy huge. But then again, flashbang and tear gas is nothing you're gonna defuse too often. I think just regular grenades is what you're gonna defuse the most. EMP and shock as well, but I think all of them are pretty good. Makes sense if you play in a team. Then we have deadeye, 5 piece is 40 initial bullet stability, not too good, but still does its thing. And then you have 20 marksman rifle critical hit damage, which is really strong. And then the 6 piece improved deadeye. When zoomed, getting a headshot kill with a marksman rifle will increase critical hit damage by 20% every second to a maximum of 100% and will increase stability by 100%. Last for 10 seconds or until no longer zoom. Pretty cool, but the thing is that you cannot unzoom it and then you will lose it. It kind of makes it hard to get good use of, especially PvP, but pretty sure you can get the good use of it. And it actually adds like some headshot to it. Still, I'm not the biggest fan of like how deadeye still works. I think 100% crit chance is way too much on any gear set, even though now you have to be in cover for the 4 piece. Game changes, gameplay. Blueprints are now shared across all characters, same with the currencies, same with the crafting materials. That's pretty good finally. Medkits will now cleanse a status effect. No. That it already done that. But basically, after you use a medkit and cleanse something, you will get a temporary immune to that status effect you just cleansed. So you are on fire, you cleanse that with the medkit, then you are immune for 3 seconds to fire, right? You can still get EMP'd or flash, but to that fire effect, you are immune for 2-3 seconds, which is pretty good. I like it. They fixed this bug, so yeah. You probably have seen my 100% burn resistance video I made before. That was a bug that didn't work anymore, but now they fixed that. Some more bug fixes here. Obviously there's way more bug fixes, but I guess the biggest ones are here. Weapon balance. Added a hard cap on rate of fire for all weapons. It will no longer be possible to overcome the RPM limitation of a weapon no matter what shooting method it's used. I think this is to kind of stop macros and scroll wheel, mainly macros though. Because you could use a macro, I think, on the G36 and you would go over the rate of fire the gun would have, right? But that's fixed now. SVD got a nerf for the recoil and spread, which is good. It's still a usable gun though. But it was way too strong, so that's good to see. Adjusted the rate of fire value shown in burst fire. Note this is a UI change only to better reflect the behavior of this weapon. The actual fire rate and damage have not changed. Okay, so only fixed the UI there. Defense 3-piece bonus changed from 30% ballistic shield health to 10% damage to elite. I think that makes sense. Like shields are way, like they are super strong. I'm surprised not more people play with it. The reason I don't do it is because it's just way too slow for me. But shields are really good. And they want to make this set more for PvE as well, which makes sense. Still, it's not the biggest nerf though, it's still gonna be good. Fix the bug with banshee where ammo would not refill, blah blah blah. Ninja bike, as you all know, got changed. I already have 2 god rolls, but I know there's a lot of people that don't have good ninja bikes. And I mean, usually the reason I still have them before I knew the change is because, yeah, ninja bike was super bad. Like the worst exotic in the game, I would say. And playing RPG games before, I know that the worst items or things usually, or at least in my opinion, they should get buffed when they balance stuff, right? So that's why I still kept them. So what Ninja Bike does, it slots in with any equipped gear set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus, can unlock bonus from multiple sets simultaneously, cannot unlock the classified gear set bonus. So basically what you can do, you can go free, let's say free banshee and 1 tack, then you would actually get 4 banshee, 2 tack, and then the ninja bike, which is pretty cool. I think I actually wanted this item for a long time. It's similar to a Diablo 3 item, or it's probably in Diablo 2 as well. It's a ring actually that does the same thing, and I think makes a lot of sense for a game like this. Sadly, or not sadly, the downside to it is that it's gonna be really hard to, or way harder to balance all the gear sets now, especially with classified as well. So hopefully they can manage to do that to some extent. Kills with a sword and explosion will now trigger the discipline talent. I guess that's cool. Pack and weapon talent will now only apply the bonus mag size on reload. This means that the refills from Meticulous and Lone Star 6-piece will only fill the magazine to the base unbuffed amount. Yeah, makes sense. Otherwise you could abuse that pretty hard. Stable is nerfed to 10% instead of 45%. That makes sense. It's a talent that shouldn't be in the game, similar to Provident. They took it away. People find a way to use it. They still use it. Makes sense. I know a lot of people don't like this, but hey, they don't want this talent in the game. Same with Provident. They didn't want it in the game. Cool-headed and determined talents will now have an effect on cooldown for all skills, including signature skills, which makes determined way better than skilled. And yeah, actually makes the talents really good. Sadly, like skilled, I think needs to be buffed now. But if you buff that too much, then it's gonna be so easy to get signature skill back. Something I think they have to look into, because there's no reason to pick determined. There's no reason to pick skilled instead of determined. Fixed a buff where triage would apply to multiple times, so triage is a bit nerfed or fixed. Fixed battle body. Fixed a bug where strike back would also reduce medkit cooldown. RIP. I think I never noticed that actually. Minor color tweaks, loadout. Ballistic shield added a PvP modifier to the damage applied to the shield. Player damage to other players' shield will now be increased by 20% in PvP. Maybe not needed, but like I think shields are way too strong. Like you get both damage, you get crazy survivability, you get ADR, and like you get so much for it. The only downside was that you move slow, which is not the biggest problem. So I think increasing damage on that 20%, it makes sense. Like you're still gonna have a big ass shield covering you, and it's still gonna be strong. Fix some bugs here. Seeker Mine got nerfed. So where you at, everyone? Every Seeker Mine player saying it's balanced. Because let's look at the numbers here. Explosion damage had been reduced from 900 to 600. Airburst mod damage had been reduced from 300 to 120. That's crazy amount of nerf. Which I still kind of like, right? Like in the end, like I haven't played Division for 1 month. But before I took a break, I didn't have the biggest problem with Seeker though. Like they are not too hard to dodge when you actually learn how to dodge them. Obviously you can't dodge everyone, but you can dodge a lot when you learn it. But still, when they actually hit, they deal way too much damage. 2 big radius, best status effect in the game. It was just crazy. And I think it makes more sense that the airburst is actually like a... It makes more sense that airburst is not about damage, but more about crowd control. And they said before as well, if you want to go for one-shot Seeker Man, you can do that with the normal mod, right? So that's still gonna be possible, but it's gonna be way harder. And I think they said upcoming gear sets or whatever could even help this out, so we will see in the future. Fix Sticky Bomb. EMP Sticky Bomb no longer staggers the enemy. That's great. It's still super strong, but stagger... I think all the stagger in PvP should go. To be fair with you, I don't think it's a fun mechanic. I don't think anyone thinks that, unless you're the one staggering people. But the EMP Sticky Bomb had way too short cooldown for having a stagger. And too long range, and it ignored cover as well, so yeah. That's good. Some support station bugs here, I'm not gonna go through that. First aid bugs as well. Mobile cover. Just a lot of bug fixes here. They fixed the bug where group member skill cooldown would not be decreased when taking cover in the area affected by smart cover. Recover link can no longer be used while firing your weapon, similar to survivor and tactical link. Because it does an animation when you use the other links, so you can't shoot. So they added that to recovery. Guess that makes sense. Some bug fixes in missions, not too much interesting there. Some underground fixes, survival. So they increased the rewards from survival. It's pretty good. Still, like for survival and those type of game modes, we have to wait for 1.8. Last time you can now see nearby players on the opposite team from your team. Blah blah blah. Stop the evil Christmas tree by the premium vendor from trapping players. I mean, that's good, I guess, so people can buy more stuff so they get more money. Kappa. Some more bug fixes. Talk some bug fixes. Nothing too interesting here. I'm just skipping through quick if I find anything interesting. Probably missed something, but I mean, most of these are not too interesting, I would say. Agent no longer blink and move their eyes once killed, say no to zombies. Lol. Changes from PTS3 to final 1.7 build, classified gear. Striker 6-piece stack will now reset when player exit combat. Oh shit, I haven't read this actually. That's quite big, dude. It's a pretty big nerf. Players will no longer defuse grenades when downed. That's a good fix as well. Sentry 6-piece bonus have 50% chance instead of 25 to spread. Yeah, I felt like the spread, it barely spread when I played it, so having 50, that's way better. That only works in PvE though. Some global event caches. Caches have been updated with the following content. Yeah, they reduced the dot here. It was pretty damn strong. Damage is reduced by 40 and the dot duration reduced from 3 to 1. Maybe it's too easy now though. That sounds like way too easy compared to before. So they changed the caches here. 2 of either. 45% chance for a classified gear set, 43 for gear set, 11 for exotic. That's some pretty good numbers though. Then you have 12.5% chance of an extra item, which is 90% a classified and 10% exotic. Like this should be make a lot of people happy actually. I think these rates are pretty good. 45%, that's pretty high chance, especially when you get 2 items, so that's good. Global event tokens will now correctly drop from survival and last stand caches. I wonder how much you get actually. Maybe I can play some last stand tomorrow as well. Because I'm planning to play a lot of PvE tomorrow, obviously. Like during the global event 1 week, I'm gonna farm a lot. Try to get a lot of classified gear. Since it's like, if you want classified gear, you should do it on the global event week. Because after that, it's gonna be way harder. I'm not sure how the drops are gonna be. I think I heard it's gonna be like drop on certain missions or whatever and have like a low chance to drop. Not completely sure about that though. key fragments drop increase from 3 to 20%. That's a big buff. So I guess that should be pretty good for people as well. Like if you don't want to pay for caches, you can actually, like the encrypted caches, you can actually get them way easier now in the game. Named NPCs, open world, so that's pretty good. But yeah, I guess that's it, guys. So I will stream tomorrow when 1.7 releases. I'm gonna try to be on exactly when it goes live. Maybe it's gonna be a bit later. It's actually pretty late here, and I have some more stuff I need to do. Like I need to clear my stash as well, and some other YouTube stuff. So yeah, hopefully I'll be live though when it goes live. Hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to see the patch notes yourself, check the comment that I pinned. And yeah, have a nice day and see you guys tomorrow on the stream. Take care. Peace. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do like my content and want to support financially, you can check out my Patreon. And if that's not enough, you can find me streaming daily on twitch.tv/widdz. Have a nice day.